All right, it's another Thursday, so I'm at the farm. I just brought the car in, and this is the shop. This was technically my grandfather's shop where he used to do his welding. For a time, I used to live in the old farmhouse up here. It's out near like Peterborough, Lindsay, Kawartha Lakes area. It's like an hour and 15-minute drive from downtown Toronto, so the drive's starting to get pretty long. The snow's really starting to get here, so I'm hoping I don't have to work on my car too much through the winter. As you can see right here, come from up there, come all the way around. The whole bottom tray was scraping along here. I had to like keep my momentum up, put DTC on, and then up into the garage. Almost got a little stuck here. The rear wheel drive with no limited slip differential is really starting to show. Hopefully this is the last time I need to be at the farm for the winter time before all the deep snow gets here, because sometimes that can be like a foot of snow and there's no way I'm going to get into the garage. As far as working on the car, it's going to be a pretty short day. I don't have too much to do. The day after I was finished last time, my check engine light came back on and the O2 sensor. It doesn't surprise me because I bought a cheap like $30 O2 sensor off of Amazon, which maybe I shouldn't have because I'm doing the job twice now. But basically it was Amazon Prime, so I'll be able to take that off, return it, and I bought a more expensive O2 sensor. I'm going to plug that in and hopefully it solves that engine light. And then after that, I'm going to start working on the steering wheel trim and the steering wheel cover, and that's pretty much all I had to do for the day. After that, I'll just kind of clean up the shop because all my tables are a complete mess. So I'll get it cleaned up so I don't really have to come back here again through the winter time. Now I'm going to get to work on that O2 sensor before I tackle the steering wheel. Okay, so I got the car up in the air, got the trays off, and was just checking the O2 sensor plug before I actually unbolted it. And the plug is not even the right type. So this O2 sensor is not even going to be able to work, which is really disappointing, but that's on me for buying the wrong part. So it looks like the only thing I'll be doing today is that steering wheel. So it's time to put the car back down on the ground and get to work on the steering wheel. I also scooped up this poster from work since they're going through a new corporate image at the dealership. So we got that for the shop. And car's back on the ground, and let's get the steering wheel off. I want to make sure you disconnect that battery before you go messing around with airbags. The airbag is out. Now it's time to get the steering wheel off. I like to put a few Sharpie marks in there so I know where to put the steering wheel back on. Okay, I got the steering wheel taken apart, cleaned up the trim piece, taken off the electric commands, got this cleaned up. You can really see how the steering wheel's fading at the top there. Now it's time to open this up. I've got the Alcantara thread. I like it because it's got red here, light blue, and then you have a dark blue stitching to do. Got the instructions set up. I've done this once before, so hopefully it doesn't take me too long. But it's time to get to work. Okay, so we're working on it. I got one of the sections done, so we're like quarter way there. You can see it was kind of like oversized. So like there's a little bit of like gap here. It's a little loose, and it's overlapping the stitching and everything. It's not as nice as I thought it'd be, but for 35 bucks, I mean, I can't really complain. It's making the steering wheel a lot nicer than it was. My sister, all right, let's continue on with the E92 update. So talking about the steering wheel, my sister just arrived with her Camaro. She's doing the winter tires, and I'm going to get back to work and do the rest of the steering wheel. Cat finished her winter tires. Now she's going to see if she can make it up the hill with that rear wheel drive Camaro. Backing up for a run. Uh-oh. Oh, I might need a push. So she definitely got stuck and I had to help push. You can see the tire marks and the sliding along. Hope I don't have any issues when I try to leave. Snow's warmer now, so she dug farther in. You can see scraped all of her momentum there before she came up. Maybe I'll try going up right here. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Almost done the steering wheel though. Got like this side done, this side halfway past here. It's got like 20% left. And then I also covered the center trim in some fake carbon fiber. I bought this piece right here, but it was just cold and didn't want to stick on. So I grabbed a whole like sheet of old carbon layover that I had for the E36. All right, it's 2 o'clock. I guess it's time to take some lunch, take a little break. All right, steering wheel is done. Just put the trim back in place. I mean, from the front, it looks pretty good. It's not too bad. On the back, you know, it's a little there, a little bit there, a little bit there that I'll feel I'm driving. A little bit tucked there. Couldn't really like press it into the grooves or anything. The grooves were too tight, but I don't know. Overall, I'm happy with it for 35 bucks. You know, can't complain. It's going to feel a lot better when I'm driving. All right, I got the steering wheel back in place. I actually love it. I'm pretty excited to start driving with that. Fresh shift knob and fresh steering wheel cover. That's the best thing you need for a pretty high mileage car. Should be pretty easy to get the airbag back in, I think. Just boom. All right. airbag is back in. I don't know, I am all done here. So that's pretty much all I wanted to accomplish today. I did have this like shifter boot and e-brake. I don't care to install that. Pretty much installed everything that I bought for the car except for that O2 sensor, which didn't fit. So I gotta make sure I get the right O2 sensor before I come back next time. With all the snow aside, I don't know if I'll be coming back. I'm just gonna take the rest of the time and clean up the shop. Okay, so I've got the shop cleaned up a bunch. This table is gone. I got that table removed with all that stuff. I've got storage stacked up. Move that stuff over here. I got all my benches cleaned up. Pretty much everything is nicely tucked away. I am ready to go. One thing I'm gonna do when I leave today is probably like a year or two of used oil. I'm gonna throw that in the trunk, drop it off at my work on the way home. Throw that in the car and then we'll try to get out through that snow. All right, I made it. I was a little worried, so I took a video. As you can see, I think if there was a little bit more snow and not that grass, I would have been stuck. There would have been no chance, but I made it. Really loving the feel of the steering wheel now. Much improved. That's all I got for today because I'm heading home now. Yes, I do make sure whenever I use BMW coolant that I know it comes concentrated. I always add in 50% distilled water. I guess deionized water. I'll grab that. This is a fresh one. I'll pour half into this one and get it mixed up. I also like to write mix on the side so I know that they're mixed and good instead of being a brand new one. Between the E36 and the E92, mainly the E36 though, I've gone through so much coolant that I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 empty jugs to mix it into. Oh, actually 7. And this one's got a little bit in it still. And I got another one that I keep in the trunk. Always make sure, wow, we're making a mess trying to videotape. Always try and make sure it's 50-50 before it goes in the car. If you're ever using BMWs or working on BMWs, make sure you use BMW coolant. Nothing but blue BMW coolant will do. All right, let's talk about my E92. What are the size of the rims and are they the same on the front and the back? Right now I have one of my favorite BMW rims, the 359s. These are just reps, 18-inch wheels. They are a 225/45/18. There it is. 225/45/18. In truth, they are a little bit big for the car. These are actually meant for an F30. So yeah, they are square, but they're a little bit big. Like a normal size for this would have been a 225/40/18. These are the wheels that came off. They were staggered for the summer. The front's a 225/40/18, and I think the rears was a 255/35/18. I need winter tires, and these came at a great deal, $750. It looks like the wheels were used one season. So to get Bridge or Pirelli, whatever, 0 or something 3s, great tires, and the wheels for $750 was an absolute steal.